Hey everyone. I'm heading to Walmart to take care of some things. Be the first time I've gone to Walmart during the new school year. At this time last year, um, the kids, well, they were in school, so it did help out a little bit. But it was a little bit more crowded at times. It died down, so it should be even more died down now than usual. But here's the deal, ladies and gents. Here's the deal. I was going to try to talk about this the other day, but have you or anybody you know asked the question as to why the premium channels like Cinemax and Showtime wait till late at night to go, or wait till late at night to go extreme, if you know what I mean? Like, why do they wait late at night to go extreme or go really mature? You get my drift? Have you ever thought about that? Have you ever asked that question? I mean, especially when you got digital cable, whether it's Comcast like me, AT&T like my second older sister, or even DirecTV or Dish Network. Have you ever asked the question, why do we wait until why do premium channels wait till a certain time to do, to go extreme, to go really mature, you know what I mean? Have you ever asked that question, or known anybody who's asked that question? We can all pretty much understand that when, let's say, 11 o'clock, or maybe even mostly midnight hits, some of the premium channels like Showtime and Max turn into their editions or their versions of the Penthouse. They turn into their editions of Playboy. They turn into their editions of basically, hey, you go into the adult section of a video store, bada bing, bada boom, there you are. Or you get what you want. Yeah, pretty much that. Have you ever asked yourself that question? Or have you ever wondered and asked the question why all of a sudden one of the Cinemax or Showtime channels is showing this, what a lot of people would call raunchy stuff, at 9 o'clock at night, or even at 8:30 at night? Have you ever asked yourself that? Have you ever wondered that? Well, I'll tell you why. They wait till about midnight. They wait till about 11 o'clock and midnight because pretty much a lot of the young kids, and even some adults that are not into it, they wait to that time frame so that knowing that, like I said, most of the young viewers and some adults, or a minority or majority of adults that are not into it, are pretty much out like a light, sleeping, getting ready for school, or getting ready for that next day of work. They know they pretty much have free range there. So if you live on the West Coast and you're asleep by midnight or something like that, pretty much it's free range, right? It's pretty much free range. Sometimes some premium channels, like Showtime or Max, or maybe even the movie channel, or even HBO, if they still do it at times, wait until at least maybe 2 in the morning to really make sure. They do that sometimes. But then again, now, what I'm trying to say is, now that sounds good, that sounds okay. But then again, if you But then again, if you have digital cable, there lies the problem. You see, with digital cable, you pretty much not only have your region's Cinemax, but you also have another region's. You see, I live here on the West Coast, so I have the West Coast region of Cinemax. But because I have digital cable, me and my mom have digital cable, we also have the Eastern Coast version of Cinemax. And we also have the Eastern Coast version of Showtime and HBO. And the movie channel. So you probably wonder, well, why is that so bad? Again, going back to the question, have you ever wondered, or has you known anyone that's wondered, why am I seeing this kind of stuff at 9 or 10 at night, or even 11 at night, or even at the earliest 8:30? It's because the stuff that you'd be watching at those later times, the 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock time frame, they're being shown at those early times because they're being broadcast on the Eastern channel. In other words, let's say you got Max-W, which is Max West. You go there, okay, appropriate stuff is on there, right? You go to the next channel, which is Max-East, which is Max East Coast, and all of a sudden you see stuff you would see late at night, or you hear people sing late at night, and you wonder, what the heck is this about, right? You wonder, what the heck is this about, right? What the heck's going on? Did they do a misprogram? Hold on. Oh, never mind. You probably wonder, did they do a misprogramming? Did somebody mess up? No. Basically, what you're seeing is the East Coast feed of Cinemax. It's kind of like with baseball, or even football, or even basketball, with sports. When a West Coast team visits an East Coast team, the game comes on a lot earlier. Like, say a team from San Francisco, like say the 49ers, go and play the New York Jets in New York. Usually, if they're playing at home here on the West Coast, it's at 1 o'clock. But if they're playing on the East Coast, it's at 10. Kind of get my drift? Yeah. Basically, 10 o'clock here is 1 o'clock on the East Coast. So, basically, they're playing a 1 o'clock game in New York in the afternoon, but like I said, even though they're playing a 1 o'clock afternoon game in New York, it's 10 o'clock here that the game is starting, and it's in the morning. It's something like that. So basically, when you think, okay, if you kind of scan ahead on your menu guide, and you see that the raunchy stuff's coming on at, let's say, midnight or 2 o'clock in the morning, between midnight and 2 o'clock in the morning, what that means is, if you have the East Coast version of, say, Cinemax or Showtime or whatever, then that means at 8 o'clock, if it's midnight, then that means around 8 o'clock, if you will, it'll be shown in your area, even though it's being shown on the East Coast. Basically, you get the Eastern feed. Like I said, if something raunchy starts at 12, you get it at 8. Or you get it at 9, I should say. You get it at 9 o'clock. Or if something starts at 2, you get it at 11. Kind of get the idea, right? So, for those that wonder and ask the question, why am I seeing this extreme mature stuff or programming, or why is extreme mature programming on during the primetime hours or the late primetime hours? It's because you're getting the Eastern Coast feed. If you have digital cable or even the dish or direct TV, you're getting the Eastern feed because you have several versions of the channel. You know, you have, of course, you have your action channels, your family channels, and all that versions of, channel versions of these premium channels, but you also have your East and West Coast. So you're bound to get something differently. Again, like I said, you live, it's like a sporting game. A West Coast team visits an East Coast team, boom. They get the game at a different time. It's like if an East Coast team came and played here in the West. You know? It's like if an East Coast team came and played in the West. A 1 o'clock game would be 4 o'clock to them. Or even if we went to the East Coast, the team from the West Coast went to the East Coast, and their game started here at 1, it would start over there at 4. You get the idea, right? That's basically sort of what's going on here. The fact that, what we would get at between the 12, the midnight, and let's say 2 a.m. hours for adult, raunchy, more mature, extreme stuff, if you will. If you switch over to the East versions, the East Coast versions of these channels on your digital cable systems or direct or dish network systems, you're going to get it at a time you're going to get it at prime time and not late at night. I mean, you're still going to get the same programming between 12 and 2 West Coast time, but because you have digital cable, and you switch over to the East Coast version of the channel, you're going to get it during the prime time. So hopefully that answered the question I'm sure a lot of people have of why you're seeing this kind of stuff during prime time. And if not, hey, maybe you can come up with a better answer than me, but just have to talk about it and see what anybody else can make of it. Peace out and God bless. Comments?